Spend 2 million naira buying a wig. If your closure is ugly, your wig is ugly. If you're buying 12 inches bob, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to break your heart, but it's not gonna retain. See, this is a very unpopular opinion, but bone straight is basic. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Akari Sibawa, and I'm back with another video. So today, basically the video I'm going to be doing is like pointers to note when buying your first hair. I've gotten a lot of people say, oh, I ordered this hair and what I ordered is not what I got. The streets of Instagram are very crazy. There are a lot of hair vendors, 1,000,001 hair vendors, all selling the same hairs, using the same pictures and everything like that. And you're making a huge commitment. You're spending this amount of money in this current economy to buy a hair. So basically, you're not trying to order something and get something different. So this is like pointers, aka red flags to note, to say, okay, these are the red flags to see. Once I see these things, I'm not going to buy this hair. So if you know this is something you're going to be interested in watching, then let's get right to the video. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe, basically all that, and let's go. Okay, so I wrote them down here, so it's basically easy for me to remember. So let's begin. The first I want to talk about here is, see, ask questions about your closure. I cannot overemphasize this. Ask questions about your closure. You need a lot of money. Is it a padded closure? Is it a machine sewn closure? Is it normal ventilated closure? What size of the closure? Is it 2x4, 2x6? What's the length of the closure? Is it the same length with the hair? What's the color? Is the color the same length with the hair? See, I don't know how to say this, but if you like spend 1 million naira to buy a hair, if your closure is ugly, your wig is ugly, baby girl. Spend 2 million naira buying a wig. If your closure is ugly, your wig is ugly. Closure is like the backbone of a hair. Closure is what covers the hair. Closure is what shows questions about the closure. These days, if you know you've asked questions about the closure and the vendor is not giving you what you want, it's either you jackpot and can't find a new vendor, or just opt to buy the bundles alone and give it to a ventilator to make a closure. That way you can customize your closure to perfection. You can choose how you want your closure to be. See, it's that easy. It's not rocket science. If you're asking all these questions and the vendor cannot answer these questions peacefully, gradually carry your market and move to another person. See, and buy the hair. It's as simple as that. I do not know why people really take this thing a lot. So that's the first pointer. Watch out for your closure. I feel like I will insert a video of how a machine sewn closure is, how a padded closure is, so you understand. Machine sewn closures and padded closures, basically, if you're buying machine sewn closures and padded closures, no matter the magic you want to perform, baby girl, is not going to go down. Those closures are not made to be as flat as possible. All those, what lace gang, my closure is very flat gang, those are not padded closures, those are not machine sewn closures. I've even seen people selling machine sewn frontals. I don't know how that works, but okay, I'm not faulting them for that. But basically, machine sewn closures, padded closures, those are like cheaper options of regular closures. But just know that, okay, those options, it's not going to go down. Like, you can manage it for bouncy hair. You can manage it to an extent for coily hair. When it comes to straight hair, especially all those bone straight and normal straight hairs, give up. Machine sewn closure is a very bad idea for straight hair. Okay, so another pointer to notice, okay, if you're on a budget, like if the budget of your hair is basically you're not opting for the highest quality human hair and maybe you're opting for fiber, human hair blend and just other things, just avoid the style bulb. It's not like it's a bad thing, but just avoid the style bulb. I will explain better. So basically, for you to retain that styling of bulb, that curve styling, if you don't know what bulb is, like I will set like a clip of how a bulb hair is, but for you to retain that bulb styling, that it's going to be curved like that, first of all, it requires a lot of constant styling. That bulb hair is not permanent. Once you keep it on the surface that doesn't allow for the bulb, it bends out back, so it needs constant styling. Secondly, for the style to retain, the hair has to be a little bit good. I don't want to say it has to be very, very good because I've seen mediocre hairs retain bob styling, but there are hairs that you will get. See, I've gotten a hair like this. You can spend 2 hours bobbing this hair, like you're bobbing it. Immediately you take the straightener out, immediately the person wears the hair, touches their neck, it's going back to square one. Like literally, immediately you stop styling the hair, it's going back to square one. Reason because the hair was not made to retain that kind of styling. This most times comes in form of human hair blend. So if you have that bob wig that the vendor told you is bob wig, but each time you bend it, it goes back straight. This has to be the category where you fall in, because ladies and gentlemen, that hair was not made to retain the bob styling. That's because the quality of the hair is not the best quality. So if you're on a budget and your budget is average and you just want to get a good hair, just opt for a normal straight hair. Don't have high expectations and say you want to get bob, and they're going to give you they want to show you a picture of a bob hair that was bought 200k, 300k, not even up to 300k, say maybe 80k or even 70k, and the bob will start perfectly, and you get that simple, and then your styling is styling and it's not styling, it's not retaining the bob style. This is the reason. The reason is because the hair's quality is not the best, and it wasn't made to retain the bob style. Another thing I want you guys to note about bob is, see, all these bob styles you see that are perfect and are always straight on the IG street, they're always 10 inches, 8 inches each. If you're buying 12 inches bob, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to break your heart, but it's not gonna retain. 12 inches can still retain. 12 inches can still retain. Let me take that back. But 14 inches, it cannot retain. Let me explain. Bob hairs are they thrive better when they are on the face or on the neck. Once a bob hair is touching your shoulders, if you brought your bob hair to me and the bob hair is long, I will always advise you this. Once the bob hair is touching your shoulders, it bends out back, and bending out back is not styling anything. It's not bob again, it's bending out back. So for you to retain the bob style longer, it has to be shorter than your shoulder length. It has to be like on your neck, on your face, maybe 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, and sometimes 12 inches. But anything longer than 12 inches for a bob style, it's not going to retain. You have to constantly keep on styling it. And it's going to be so bad that you style your hair now and you're going out, maybe you're sweaty, maybe it touches your neck, maybe it touches your shoulders, it's going back to, like, it's bending out. So when you're buying your bob hairs, be mindful of the length. If you know you're going to buy 14 inches bob, I just opt to buy normal stability. Just buy maybe blunt cut, 14 inches blunt cut. That's way better than to buy 14 inches bob and it's not retaining the style. It does not make sense. Then, for my pointer number 3, ladies and gentlemen, female and female, basically, if you're buying hair from a random vendor that you're not familiar with, my advice to you is to buy bundles. Buy bundles. Then, if her closure is the best, you can buy closure from the best. But do not buy it as a wig. See, I don't know how to emphasize this a lot, but do not buy you don't buy hair from a random vendor and buy it as a wig. That requires a lot of trust. Basically, what hair vendors do is, if they have 20 bone straights to make, and they collect one line of hair from each bone straight, maybe 20 bone straight into 200 grams, they collect one line of hair from each bone straight, and they all add it together. It's making an extra wig for them. It's making 2 extra wigs for themselves, and that's extra money. Do you get it? See, hair vendors, people should have conscience. That's not nice. But see, if you're a customer, just avoid the stories that touch. I once got a hair that someone gave to me, that she got this hair from a hair vendor, a very popular hair vendor on Instagram. I'm not about calling out anybody, but a very popular hair vendor on Instagram, that's one thing you should note. The hair vendor was claiming this is 200 grams. Baby girl, that hair was not even up to 150 grams. It was that scanty. And it's easier for them to do that when it's as a wig. If it's coming as a bundle, that way it's easier for you to calculate your hair. You know that 200 grams comes in 2 bundles, 100 grams each. That way they cannot reduce out of the hair. But when it's as a wig, they can take off one line from one bundle, one line from another bundle, and you cannot calculate your hair. You cannot know your hair. How many people have scales in their house to calculate the grams of their hair? Because normal scale, human being scale in kg, you cannot calculate the grams of your hair. So basically, that's something you should note. If you're opting for if you're buying hair from a random hair vendor, just opt to buy bundles. And if person's closure is that, just buy a bundle on your closure and give it to someone else to wig. It doesn't cost anything. It costs like an extra 3,000 or 4,000, depending on how much the person wigs hair. But it's way better and it prevents stories that touch. So for my next point, if you're buying your first hair, and I know this is going to be like an everyday hair, I feel like you should opt for natural or neutral colors. See, I don't know how to overemphasize this, but if you know you're going to be buying an everyday hair, like you just want to buy one hair, you're going to be wearing to school, to work, to church, basically everything of that sort, just buy a neutral colored hair. Maybe black, brown, dark brown, chestnut, just basically those colors of hair. I know somebody that has an everyday hair, and her everyday hair is white, everyday hair pink. I don't understand the concept behind that. Maybe that's your signature look or something, because apart from that, I see no reason why your everyday hair should be a white hair or a pink hair. Reason being that it's easier for them to know that this hair you're wearing is one hair, it's an everyday hair. It's easier for people to know that way, because if they see me wear one white hair today, another white hair tomorrow, another white hair another day, people will know that, okay, yes, this is the hair I've been wearing every day. Now it brings me to another point. If you just want one long hair and you want a hair that is versatile and that can do all styles and stuff, you can opt for a normal straight hair as opposed to a bone straight. See, this is a very unpopular opinion, but bone straight is basic. Bone straight cannot be styled in different ways. That's one thing I do not get about the madness of bone straight. It's a bone straight, but you cannot coil a hair. And I don't know if you know, but coiling hair gives it one kind of vibe. It gives it one kind of zhuzh like that. Coiling of a hair literally takes the hair from 0 to 100 because it makes the hair look bouncy and looks full and stuff. But bone straight cannot retain the curls. Bone straight cannot retain curls. That's why it's called bone straight. So it's now more or less like you're buying a bone straight, you cannot curl the hair, and this is your only straight hair, this is your only long hair. So opt for, as opposed to a bone straight, opt for a normal straight hair. That way you can straighten the hair today, you can crimp the hair tomorrow. Yeah, bone straight can be crimped, but you can straighten the hair today, you can crimp the hair tomorrow, you can curl the hair the other day, and it still looks very good and helpful to you. If you watch until this point, please click that subscribe button if you haven't, and like this video. Yeah, click on that like button. Another thing you need to know is Frontal is high maintenance. See, I don't know how to say this, but Frontal is kind of high maintenance. The thing with Frontal is, except you want to buy a Frontal and not rock it to its full potentials, and you want to be styling it like a closure, maybe center pattern and side pattern, I see no reason why you should be buying Frontal when you're not willing to put in the work to style the hair. Fun fact, I have just one Frontal, and the one Frontal I have, I've not installed the hair before, because I cannot be bothered. Like, the strength to start styling the hair, installing the hair, you can rock it glueless, quite alright, but the strength to start styling the hair, installing the hair, it's not something I have regularly, so I just opt for wider closures. That way it's easier for me to style. So as opposed to Frontals, you can opt for wider closures, maybe 4x4, 4x5, 4x6. That way, when you want to style it as a Frontal, you can style it as a Frontal. And that way, when you want to style it as a closure, you can style it as a closure, and it still comes out very flat and very fine. It gives that Frontal look, and it's way cheaper than the Frontal, and it's less high maintenance than the Frontal. Frontal, you have to do this, you have to do that, and it actually takes a lot. So this is a 6x6 closure that was styled like a Frontal, meaning I can style it today as a closure, I can style it tomorrow as a Frontal, and it still looks very good, and people think it's a Frontal, and it's easier for me. If you know you're going to be buying your first hair and you're not willing to put in the work, opt for a wide closure as opposed to a Frontal. Another thing you need to notice, see, if you're opting for the longevity of your hair, please opt for HD lace opt for Swiss lace as opposed to HD lace. Am I mistaking it? No, I don't think I'm mistaken. Opt for Swiss lace as opposed to HD lace. HD lace, all those high definition lace, all those laces that celebrities usually use that melt into their skin, that gives that what lace vibes. That lace, it's thin, it's very thin, that's why it melts into your skin. Like, it's very, very thin and lightweight, that's why it melts into your skin. And as it's very thin and lightweight, it tears very, very easily. It frees and it tears very, very easily. So if you know you're opting for longevity, you want your hair to last longer, and you know you don't have multiple options of hairs, and this is going to be like a hair you want to be wearing frequently, just opt for normal lace. The normal lace, it's not like it won't melt into your skin. It will, but it's not going to give what HD lace is going to give, if that makes sense. Just opt for normal Swiss lace. It's better, it serves you longer, and though it's not going to give you the what lace vibe that you're supposed to get. These celebrities, they have multiple options of hair. They don't install one hair frequently. So if you're going to be installing one hair frequently, just leave the HD lace for who has money to do the HD lace. Just opt for the Swiss lace. It's cheaper, it serves you better, and it serves you longer. So I hope this video was very helpful to you. If you watch until this point, please click that subscribe button if you haven't, and like this video. Yeah, click on that like button. So basically, if you watch until this opting until this point, I hope you're able to get one or two things from this video. I just hope you're not going to make that mistake to prevent what I order versus what I got, because that's the main purpose of this video. If you're not making that your first big girl purchase, buying that first hair in this economy, you're really a rich person, you're really an OG, and you're not about privilege, you're not about buying something and getting something different. It's going to be very heartbreaking and basically very, very heartbreaking. So just follow up these pointers, and you're going to prevent that what I ordered versus what I got syndrome. So thanks for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please click that comment and subscribe button, and like it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.